We're delighted to be joined now on the line by Nadine Marissa, the American actress known as Nabila in AMC's The Walking Dead. Firstly, Nadine, how are you? How are things over in America?
It is great. I'm doing good. How are you doing out there?
We're good, thank you. We're still enjoying The Walking Dead in the UK.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So I think today, Nadine, we'll talk about the role of Nabila in The Walking Dead, as well as the upcoming short you've got coming up, and I also want to talk a little bit about the series that you feature in Better Call Saul, because of course that's another popular series that you're involved in. But starting with The Walking Dead, of course, firstly, when did you kind of find out that that was the show that you wanted to audition for?
Well, technically, when my everything with The Walking Dead is very, very quiet and very hush-hush. So when you're auditioning, you don't really know what you're doing. You know you're auditioning. You know you're auditioning for something. They give you a little bit of specs, but you don't really know who it's going to. And the beauty of that is there's no pressure other than just doing the very best you can. And just getting the chance to go out and do it and do what you love, and then to turn around and go, oh, my God, it's The Walking Dead. What? This is kind of, yeah.
Quite a few of the actors we've spoken to about The Walking Dead have said that when they turned up for the audition, as you say, they didn't really know the role, anything about the role that they were auditioning for, and even the name that they thought they were auditioning for changed on the day. So did you literally have no idea what kind of part you'd be playing in the series?
I literally had no idea. And yes, the name was changed. It was very different than what I thought. I want to say maybe her name was Amy, I think, back then. I'm not sure what it was. I don't even remember because I was so excited after the fact. But, yeah, it was very different than what I thought, but I'm definitely glad I did.
Now, obviously, Nabila doesn't have a kind of official backstory on the show, but obviously a lot of characters, having said that, don't have a kind of official comic book or TV backstory. When you've got a character like that, do you try and create kind of a private one for yourself? Have you got a brief idea of what she was doing perhaps before the apocalypse?
Well, the scary thing about that is, as an actor, you always want to give your character a background just to know internally where they're coming from and to kind of help you push the character further. The weird thing about that is you don't want to be emotionally married to something that later on may be something else. You know what I mean? So you want to respect where she is now and kind of, I don't know, like it's really hard to go. I want to give her a little bit of background. I didn't go too much emotionally and mentally. I probably went back about 6 months in my mind of what she was doing right before then, who she was when she landed here. And I think that's where I was like, okay, what have I done so far being here versus the life beforehand?
Now, of course, a lot of the actors and characters in The Walking Dead kind of come and go. Nabila was lucky enough to survive the final battle. Of course, you got to participate in that fantastic scene, the end scene, where Rick, of course, slits Negan's throat. I mean, firstly, from an actor's point of view, how was that scene to be involved in? It must have been pretty amazing to witness and be obviously involved with.
It was amazing to see, just for one, to work with all the different people you get to work with and to see that their kindness in being around them. Then I will say it's emotional because you get to, when I get a script, I don't get everything, all of the information around it. I just get what I'm doing. So I'm seeing literally with the audience as things are happening.
Now, of course, I assume your character, of course, you've been involved in the filming for the upcoming season. Your character was fortunate enough to survive, which, of course, most characters in The Walking Dead don't get the luxury of being still alive. Firstly, I know you obviously can't say anything, but how excited are you for fans to kind of witness the new season? And are you excited for kind of how they can kind of explore your role more, the role of Nabila?
Well, I will say this. I don't know if I'm in the new season or not.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, and even if I did know, I couldn't tell. So
of course, yeah, no, it's a secretive show.
But the fact that they could possibly tell a little bit about her, I'm very excited. I think she was really, ironically, the fans really jumped on board with her and wanting to know about her and what she represents, because she's the first one on the show that kind of looks like herself, that's wearing a hijab and another member of the kingdom, and with having that big loss that the kingdom had, I think now it gives the audience a chance to kind of really look at some other members of the kingdom and see what's going on, and kind of just everyone has had their moment, and I think last season, especially season 7, was really a big season for the Kingdom. So I hope that if I am a part of season 9, I hope they do dig a little more into her.
Well, I think I'm speaking on behalf of all the fans when I say I really hope that Nabila does return for season 9, because it's a fantastic character. Kind of speaking on that as well, you mentioned that obviously Nabila is a character who wears the hijab during the series, and I don't know if we get official confirmation, but it's kind of widely cited that you portray the first Muslim character in the show. I mean, how important do you think is that for a show such as The Walking Dead to kind of have that diversity, and how do you feel kind of being the first person to represent that particular religion in the show?
Well, the good thing about this show is they've always been open to every possible background that a person can be, which is truly what the world is made of. I think it was just very exciting to be a part of that and see them adding all these different people to these different communities. I was really reluctant to, I guess, zone her into just being a Muslim, because I know there's a lot of different religions that wear a form of a hijab. And I wanted to make sure I respected that of any religion if she turned out to be anything, you know. What I would prefer people see is they go, you know, she's a woman, she's kicking butt, she's in the apocalypse, and she just happens to be Muslim or happens to be wearing a hijab. You know what I mean? More than an identity, as she's just a woman that's doing her business, and she just happens to be this. And I think, you know, a lot of the fans who I've spoken to who are of religions that wear hijabs or any type of head coverings have all said, you know, it's just a part of who they are. It's not a definition. So I'm hoping that the fans continue to see, hey, she's just a great person that happens to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're completely right. In and of herself, it's a fantastic character. Moving on as well, away from The Walking Dead somewhat, as I mentioned at the start, you've made quite a few appearances in Better Call Saul. In terms of that project, I mean, how do you feel to be a part of that? And you obviously get to work again with some fantastic actors.
That was so much fun. Just like The Walking Dead, it was so much fun, especially on set. Everyone there is so hilarious. It was, I don't know if anyone who really looks at the show or was a fan of Breaking Bad, you know, Saul was like the most hilarious character ever. So getting to go and experience that and see, I guess, that arena, and it was a really good time. And I was a fan of Breaking Bad anyway, so it was like, okay, this is above what you think that you could want to do for life, you know? It was just a really great experience. If you look at the show, what I found hilarious was all the little things that that production did. If you look at me at my desk, there's tons of Beanie Babies around, and it was hilarious creating that character, you know? It was a lot of fun there.
Now, of course, I mentioned at the start as well that you've got some upcoming projects, where in particular Blocked, the short. Can you tell us rather, a little bit about that?
I can't say much about Block. I do a couple of voiceovers in Block. It was really, I'm from Texas, which is a really big place, so trying to tell you where exactly I'm from is crazy. But some really talented friends of mine put together this short, and it's being shopped around and getting some great feedback. And I was able to kind of lean in there and go, hey, can I get on this, guys? You know, and they were really gracious in allowing me to kind of lend my voice to that. So
fantastic.
Yeah, that was enjoyable too. Yeah, it's always good when you can work with people you know, especially talented people. You know, it was a really good time.
And now finally, Nadine, how can people keep up with you on social media?
In social media, you can always check my Instagram and my Twitter. I am Nadine Marissa. Also my Facebook page, Nadine Marissa. You could go to any one of those and check up, follow. I'm getting into social media a lot, probably because I have this awesome 13-year-old who's like, you can't say it like this, Mom. You got to be cooler and say it like this. And yeah, I'm getting schooled in the game of of social media and what's out there. And I'm really interactive with my fans, because I want you to know that you're not just a fan. You're giving me an hour out of your day, and I want to give you some time back, and I want to find out what's going on and what you're doing, and birthdays and businesses and all sorts of stuff, you know.
Well, I think that's fantastic.
So, yeah.
Nadine, thank you very much for joining us.
No problem. Thank you for having me. I'm Nadine Marissa. I play Nabila on The Walking Dead, and you are listening to Raw.